I've been, you could say, investing. So that's
You
where
can say investing.
So
what, sir? Exactly what it that should show up somewhere on these assets.
This was just undisciplined in general for like a long time.
Look at his face. You can't take it.
I didn't save any money at all. Basically.
When was this?
Look at his face.
A mutual base.
You better file your taxes, sir. Okay, welcome back to another episode of OPM and Beyond, where we discuss, you guessed it, other people's money in order to learn more about ourselves and create generational wealth. I am your host, E. Rains. Now, I was just perusing through the internet, you know how you do, just kind of scrolling, you go into a black hole of sorts or whatever, and I came across this YouTuber who, I guess, what is the gentleman's name? Let me get the name for you because I don't want to mess it up, all right? The gentleman's name is Caleb Hammer. Okay, and it looks like now that I'm just going to say what it looks like. I can't tell you what it is now, y'all. I can tell you what it looks like. Looks like it's a show that's predicated on discussing the finances of random everyday citizens, right? In terms of where they are in their lives, what's going on with their money, and how they're managing it. Usually it's poorly, right? And it's kind of a kick in the butt a little bit to get your stuff together. So I'm down for it. So I want to listen to somebody talking bad to somebody not dealing right with their money. So that's a little entertaining. And also, to give good information. Sometimes if you deliver it in such a way that's underwhelming, sometimes people don't really get what you're trying to say. So I don't think it's really, hopefully it's no disrespect going on. But just some funny, maybe a little shade. Ain't nothing wrong, just a little bit of shade, you know, what's going on. And hopefully some good information. And I don't know, we'll see. This one gentleman, he already looked like a character to me. Okay, now look here. This is the start of the screen here. Gentleman looked like a character. I hope we get some good information out of this. I have not watched it yet, so let's just see what goes on. Okay.
Hello, I am Antonio. My age is 2. I'm based in the North Austin area, and this is a financial audit.
What do you do for a living?
Currently, my employment status is just underemployment. So
underemployment? Or does that mean in your context?
Sorry. All right, you're gonna just do editing, right?
Yeah.
What we need to
edit? I
edit?
didn't know you were gonna jump into. I thought you were gonna kind of brief me on like this.
We just asked what you do, brother. What's going on?
Yeah,
what do you
do?
Honest
conversation back and forth, just about your life, finances, stuff like that.
Okay. So one thing, and I'll let it through. I didn't really want to give my age. I like to keep my age under.
Are you in witness protection?
Okay.
I don't really want to give my address either.
We don't need
No,
yeah,
we're definitely
now,
not.
If they ask you for your address, then I got questions.
And then also, I try not to show my eyes on camera as well.
That's fine.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
This is awkward.
Any other details you want? Or I guess you said honest and open. Okay. All right. I'm ready. Sorry.
So
can we start? Okay, hold on. We got a whole lot of hemming and hawing over some very basic items, so I'm a little concerned. Just to start with, I'm a little concerned. What is the problem? Perhaps they did need to have some sort of conversation before this. Perhaps he should have asked for that before the camera started rolling. Before you showed up, more than likely. Like, I wonder how he's getting these people here to his studio, like in person, without there being any discussion of details as to what's going on. I don't know. Maybe just some of the people that come on the show don't really ask a lot of questions, but did you ask what the show was about? Did you watch any of the previous episodes? I mean, it's not his first episode, so anyway, okay, let's just keep going because we already starting off bad. I'm trying to figure out who he trying to hide from. But anyway, here we go.
Well, what do you do for a living?
I work at a car factory, a Tesla.
You work at the new Tesla plant.
Yeah.
Okay, are you guys making Cybertrucks yet?
So they have a whole entire information stuff that they want to keep.
Of course, confidentiality. You're asking this man about the cars. He can't tell you that. You're trying to get this man fired. Good job, brother. Don't tell him.
I work on the body, so it can range from any body part, car, door, car. They call it lift gate, but you can see it's a trunk. Various other parts of the car underbody.
Okay.
What do you make right now?
Bi-weekly checks. Each check currently is ranging between $1,700 and $1,800.
Now, is that what hits your bank account, or is that just what you're making?
That's what hits my bank account right now. So,
okay, so that was post taxes.
Okay.
So you're making $40,000 a year after taxes.
$40K after taxes. Okay.
Yeah, that's a closer range right now.
Okay, cool. $40,000 a year post taxes right now. If we divide that on a monthly average, since it's bi-weekly, sometimes you'll get those magical 3 paychecks in a month. Those are always fun. But on average, it looks like you make probably around $3,333 a month right now.
On the dot.
Yeah. So, awesome.
Right.
Well, that is exciting.
No, it's not.
Now, in terms of
it's all right.
Your checking account, or actually, before we get into that, how would you describe your overall financial situation in your life?
It's pretty wonky right now.
Okay, what's wrong?
Especially this past year. Earlier this year, I was working at a different job, and they were very corporate, so they were still on the whole get the vaccine debacle, and they were forcing people basically get vaccines to stay employed at their corporation. So I basically said bye because
you didn't want it.
I really didn't want it, so
I
had to move on. I had to do another weird job over the summer, and I had to leave that, and then that's where I finally came to Tesla at the end of summer. So
the transition period between that and Tesla, was that kind of a decrease in income?
Yeah, because I did moving. That was the weird job, and that was solely contracting work. So that could vary between working every day except Sunday, and getting 1 or 2 jobs a day. But after all the work was said and done, it's not worth it. And then also, taxes won't be just taken care of automatically. You're gonna have to do 1099 under that,
right?
So,
and did you? Well, like set money aside.
Don't set them up now.
By month. And no, after I got out the job, I had to quit because there's a health issue that was stemming from that work. So when I quit, I took off for like 3 weeks, and I was unemployed for 3 weeks, but I didn't save any money at all.
When was this?
You better file your taxes, sir.
Mid-April to end of July.
This year?
This year, 2020.
So you're going to owe taxes on the money that you made?
Definitely.
Which
it's going to be...
Well, I know you have more than just this checking account based on what's in this checking account, but all we were sent was the checking account. But that makes me nervous with $148 in there at the time of this statement. Might be more now, hopefully not less. But that is scary, especially if money is coming. Now, what I also noticed before we do a deep dive, I saw some things on here like a potential credit card payment.
Credit card.
Is that correct?
Right. That is correct.
Okay, and like then I saw something Randolph Brooks FCU Texas loans bill payment. A debt.
That's another credit card.
Oh, that's another credit card.
Okay, got a couple credit cards. All right.
And then a Texas tag payment. Did you do $358 of tolls?
Yes, I did.
That's a lot of money.
It really is. And you have to be really on it. So I had my car enrolled into the automatic tag, and where it would automatically take money out. But their system is just so weird, and that kind of stung me.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you at least got that taken care of and didn't no longer have to go to court.
And they'll probably work with you too if there's something weird about it. You can go in and maybe negotiate some of that. Hopefully.
5,182 out. Well more out than in.
Ooh.
Leaving you with 148. What's up?
Yes.
It's a good amount of bills each month. I do have some automatic services that take out. And then over time, I've been, you could say, investing. So that's
you can say investing, sir. Exactly what it that should show up somewhere on these assets.
So
investing in what?
Investing in. I don't think I
I don't
saw
see
that.
it either.
That's because it's only in this one statement. And also with the credit cards, you know, basically I'm maxed out on my credit cards too. But
What is the
Yes.
smirking and what is the
Do
investing?
you budget?
No, I don't. Go back to the investing part.
so I used to budget. And I used to have thousands in my
I
savings.
used to budget and I used to have money, but
Um,
now
All those thousands in my savings, absolutely gone.
to where?
I had to close out my savings
You
account.
closed your savings
In
account.
fact, I didn't close it myself.
The bank closed your
completely
savings
just,
account. Okay.
Deleted
They
Ugh.
they pressed the delete button.
So
Okay.
What? Okay, so was this the
Yeah.
period of not having a job?
no,
This was just undisciplined in general for like a long time.
Look at his face. You
undisciplinary
can't take
actions
it.
on a,
It's a little performative, but okay.
you could say,
Look at his face.
a mutual basis when it comes to sharing
Look
money,
at his-
for sure. But
Ugh.
Okay, please explain, because that did not make sense to me.
I know.
I mean,
He's speaking in
kind
code.
of, maybe a little. We'll
So
see.
I used to have a roommate
Okay, you had a roommate. Now what?
during that time when I was living with my roommate. We were able to split bills. Nothing was ever a worry in terms of
Okay,
bills. And
that makes sense.
payments.
Having a roommate splitting bills
But-
pretty much at half.
I no longer with my
That makes sense.
roommate. So
Were
now-
you dating your roommate?
No,
Okay.
it was a family member. But
Family member. Okay.
now that they're gone, everything is starting to build up and it's starting to really set me back.
Okay, question about this then with how the lease broke out, because, it's certainly different in complexes, but was this a total lease for the whole place that you signed, or were they individual signatures on the lease between you two agreeing to pay your portions? Which
It was between us two.
Okay, so they should, even if they left, they would have to pay to break their part of
Right.
the lease.
No, we still have the lease going right now.
But they're not paying their portion?
No, I've been covering it.
Why have you been covering it if they are specifically on the lease? Because they are legally responsible.
They're not living in the unit right now with me.
It doesn't matter. They signed it. They signed the
Right.
contract.
If they sign the lease, they need to
And
be
it's
paying.
ruining your money.
to a degree.
Are they in jail? Let's.
No.
Well, if you're
They're-
maxing out credit cards, and we've drained a checking account to $148.
Yeah.
And
What is going on with you, sir?
closed.
Why are you covering the windows to your soul? What are these shades? What is this
they're doing
rag
their
on your
own
head?
thing. They're pursuing.
They're doing it. What does that mean? They're doing their own thing.
But the thing is, they're
Pay your
not
bills.
Literally living in the unit.
Doesn't
day to
matter.
day.
Again,
So-
that doesn't matter.
So?
I want to make sure you understand that, right? It does not matter. Legally speaking, it does not matter. Do they know it doesn't matter, legally speaking? Do they
That-
think they could just leave?
Right.
It's
And not pay their
legalities to
bills?
it. But
Are they in
that's my
jail?
family member. And
Okay.
there's a
All right.
honesty aspect that we both respect each other on. So
I don't think he's respecting you. If he's
What about
leaving you
in-
hanging with a bill on something he's
Yeah.
agreeing to, he's not respecting you. He's
What about integrity to pay your bills?
no, not at
That's
all.
right.
We've
Yes.
discussed this already because we've been seeing the trend of Austin getting more expensive.
okay.
So we've been talking about leaving Austin. He's dead set against it, but
Oh, they're
I
in
wanna stay
Austin.
here
Okay.
in Austin because I see opportunities that they don't necessarily see eye to eye on. So
What's this agreement you had though?
to move to basically Fort Worth area, start fresh over there. But
Was there no agreement with him just leaving and you?
That's
putting
near
the bill?
Dallas. Yeah.
no, because
Okay, so
Fort
he
Worth
did-
is less expensive than Dallas.
no, he didn't.
Explain. How is he not specifically screwing you over in this situation?
Because I've
Yes,
seen
explain
what
this.
he's been pursuing for the past year, and as well as with his job that he had to leave because of the vaccine as well. He didn't want to take the vaccine, so I fully understand that. He's been on sort of a circus juggle, just making sure that he was getting income as well.
Did he ask for your permission to leave? Did you guys have a discussion about it, or did he just do it?
No, he's his own man. He's a full-grown adult. And,
He is not acting like an adult. He's acting like a child, to be very clear.
oh, far from it.
Not at all, dude. He signed a contract. If you signed a legally binding contract,
Right.
you have to abide by that. Would you consider
Right.
yourself an adult if
You
you
need to
just
be
walked away from a
responsible.
legal abiding contract?
He's-
No, that's a child. That's a toddler. That's what a toddler would do.
He asked if he wanted why did I pay the rent in full like this past month?
Mhm.
Because we've still been splitting it. This is the first month that I covered in full because he's
Mhm.
not been in the unit
Mhm.
for months at a time. He's traveling around the country. He's doing piloting work essentially, and now he's pursuing
traveling
the,
around the country and not paying his bills.
truck driver. So this past month, he's just not been in the unit. I know I have the funds to cover
Something
it,
not right.
whether or not if I have any extra funds on the side to cover for emergencies. It's a fair thing to do at this point since I absolutely know that he's going to be leaving soon anyway. The lease is due for renewal or ending in a few months.
Okay.
So
This is stupid.
we've been talking about this for a long time anyway, and we've been seeing the trend. He's dead set against staying here, and he is definitely going to be leaving, and I'm not going to stop him.
Okay, then take care of
No,
that
he can
after the
leave
bill.
until the
I mean,
lease.
after the
He
lease.
can leave right now and
Right.
pay for. Still have to pay for the rent. He's legally responsible. But either way, what it really comes down to: are you okay with it?
Absolutely.
Okay, well then I guess it doesn't matter. I think he's being a complete piece of and acting like a 5-year-old, using some caveman mentality. And I think you're certainly not in the wrong for this. You're just incredibly nice. You're too nice. You're too nice. That's not a bad trait necessarily. I feel bad for you because you
It
are
is
getting
if you're
screwed
if
over in this
you if
situation
you broke.
from someone. Yes, you are.
No, I'm just
Okay.
being honest.
Okay, if I yeah. Well.
Yeah.
So
This
let's
is
take a look at
trash.
your full financial picture then, and then we'll get back.
Okay.
So the checking account, that is again, like I said, $1,842 starting, $148. So you say you have the means to cover it. That does not speak that way. Now, you don't
Right,
go
you do not
crazy,
have
but there
fun.
are things like Sweetwater Sound, $420 that you're dropping on something, and then Papa John's and an NT MS Bill. I think a Microsoft subscription potentially. There's Chick-fil-A, and there's your credit card payments and another credit card payment, Chipotle, and then your tags, your tolls. So you didn't go to court, and I'm glad you're not going to court. And we also have the Golden Chicks and SP Tannery and Backstage subscription, Amazon and Adobe payment, Amazon Prime, YouTube Premium or a YouTube purchase, Taco Cabana, Crunch, Round Rock, DMG Audio, so 2 audio things, and then Home Depot, International Transaction Fee, and Acris Audi something, and International Transaction Fee again, and Taco Cabana, Spotify, FID, BKG Service LLC, RBFCU, North Austin, Yardy Service CH, non-BOA teller withdrawal fee of $5. You're paying a lot of fees on just BS. FID banking service. Oh, is that another fee? $5. You 4 fees within this month. Why so many fees? What's going on? And okay, so you're certainly spending a lot of money. You're dropping a good amount on audio stuff too. What's up with the audio stuff?
That's my investments.
Damn.
Yes, it is.
Sir,
Oh,
I
so
thought
you
when said
buying
investment,
buying
you were talking
equipment
like
for
you were putting money
music.
in the stock market or in real estate.
You know he wasn't putting money in no damn stock market with the way he was talking.
Okay, we'll get to that, but tell me about this.
Yeah, where is that account?
It started a while ago. I decided to go into audio engineering 3 years ago, music altogether 6
Okay.
years ago. It's been a
Okay.
journey. Learning audio
Has it been a
engineering in
Mhm.
particular, because
productive
the
journey?
musical aspect is just an artistic approach, but the engineering itself, I've learned how much depth there is to it and the skill and the trade of it. And I've learned how expensive it is to it. That Sweetwater Sound of $420, that was just installment payment. In fact, that's half of what was supposed to be paid.
Installment? What did you purchase?
So
Installment
that
payment.
is installment payment towards $1,200+ subwoofer. And that is in line from that's the second one.
It's not
as
even
well.
equipment that's helping you be an audio engineer. Oh, it's just
Absolutely.
making-
Subwoofer.
Well, to be clear, I want to be specifically clear. I studied music in college and 3 semesters of audio engineering in a well-ranked audio engineering program at a top 25 school of music in the United States. So I do have some
you need to
understanding.
ask him
of
what
this,
equipment
as
you
can
need.
see from Slightly Music setup, from my too expensive sound mixer and the mics and everything. So I do know what I'm talking about in this subject. That subwoofer, not 100% necessary in the production of your audio engineering and further education, but I will let you continue.
We can talk about that all day, but I know what the topic is today. So, yes, that was to finish off the payments for that subwoofer. So I just killed that off. And then the other two, the MG Audio and the one you had a hard time pronouncing, I kind of have a hard time too. That's audio software as well, plugins.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely important.
I've splurged some plugins, so
yeah. Have you seen a return on these investments yet? Have you made money?
Of course
I've had chances to make money, but
I've had chances to make
I did
money.
not at the time receive money. So
what?
I wanted to start providing services, but as you well know,
so you're doing free work?
A lot of practice.
It does.
And while I could have taken money for the services I provided at those times, I looked at it and realized that they weren't at the time receiving the quality that I was promising. So,
I respect the honor of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. Like sometimes if you know you can't provide what you want to provide at a certain level, you do it maybe for free until you get experience or whatever. So that's not terrible.
2 high quality monitors like the ones I have back there.
Yeah.
Would be a good start because you're not making money. If you're able to take money that you make back into it, that's more of a want than a need. What you had. You just went top end. I would love it too. I would bathe in all that amazing sound. But that's definitely more of a want versus what you need to be at the top of your game. Do you agree with the statement or disagree with the statement of if I don't have the money to pay for something right now and I have to borrow money in order to get it, then you cannot afford it?
A consumer stance for something that is not life or death, like food or water. Yeah. But on a belief stance on what you could make out of it, hell no.
How much money have you sunk into this?
At least over 20,000.
That's sunken cost.
It's going to take a long time to even earn $20,000, to be clear. I feel an obligation of responsibility in this side of the table to also be very real world about it because I care about everyone who's on the show and I want them to do well and I follow up with everyone to make sure they are. So, just to be clear. Now, let's
he
talk
follows
about
up
these
with everybody.
payments.
All right.
What is owed on these 2 credit cards?
Yes.
What are owed on these 2 credit cards?
Amount?
Yeah. And you can pull up your phone and check if necessary.
Oh no, I know it. Okay. One of them is over 5,400, and the other is 2,697. I remember that good.
Oh, so 2,967.
97. 2,697.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 26,000 for a second.
Oh,
won't let me get
no.
to that level, so.
Good. Because you can't use credit cards. Let's be very
your credit
clear.
not even that high.
The minority of people can use credit cards.
You would just spend
and by
it all.
that, I mean not holding balances. Those are the only people that are able to actually use credit cards and justify it and take it. But that's the minority of people. You're holding a balance. Can you pull up those apps, please? We're not going to show anything on screen. I don't have the statements or anything, but may I see?
Highest credit card loaded up.
Okay, so I just what I'm curious about. Total available credit $0. Oh,
$0 available. Lord have mercy.
Out. Oh,
just super max. You don't have a single dollar available on this credit card.
Oh, good. There's $1.25 cash rewards. Woo! What I'm trying to find is the interest on here. I'm trying to see what it is bullying you on.
It might be 24. It just might be 24.
24%. Lord.
I think I remember being 24.
Okay, thank goodness you haven't, because you can't. It's maxed out, but you haven't been making more purchases on it. What's the credit limit on this thing?
3,800, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, 3,800.
Gotcha.
So you spend every dollar that's
I also
possible on this
see
card.
the credit that
Good
was
gracious.
accrued in this last
Year?
month. Or a year would be great, but
Yeah, because I haven't.
yeah, you're
made any-
$1,572 over your credit limit.
I know.
How'd you do that? How'd you even do that? Was that just the interest?
Let me look at my past because it's been
Oh,
at least a couple.
He's 1,000 something
couple
over your
months
credit limit.
Since I've used this card, so let me see.
What?
I'm gonna look at last month to see if there were any purchases over here.
No, I saw no purchases.
That says. What?
So from November.
That says to me
17th,
you haven't been paying your minimums. Then if you
October
1,000
18th
something
to
over your
November
credit
17th,
limit.
It looks like I've only done 10 purchases or less. No, less. Yeah. I've done 6, 5 maybe.
They're letting you purchase over your credit limit?
It's happened
That's
before. I
crazy.
think twice. I went over the first time. I think just a couple hundred, and then I paid it down to like 1,000. And then the second time it happened, it was definitely over 1,000. But I had a check come in, and I cleared out the overbalance.
So they just
We're only
let
talking
you
about
spend
clearing out the
over your
overbalance, not even the balance.
overbalance.
What is the
Okay.
interest that's being accrued on this, dude?
Um,
Can you find
What is
out?
what's going on with
okay,
your glasses,
so
sir?
on November 17th,
Calm yourself down.
it says interest charged on purchases was $129.01. Yes.
You're paying $120 just in interest.
What was the statement earlier about you having the funds to take care of this rent? Because that is incorrect.
Right,
You are
right.
Over your
You do
credit
not.
limit by an additional like 20%, and you are being charged so much money of interest on a monthly basis. Can you pull up the other credit card? I'm dying. And I apologize for my ignorance of not knowing that you could spend above a credit card limit, because I only base this stuff on my own experiences, and I've never spent above a credit card limit.
When you learn that you
Shay.
can do it, it kind of just sets this mentality of, okay, I can do it, and then I can just pay it off. But circumstances occur, and
They give you paying the penalty interest.
yeah, sometimes you're
That's
gonna
why it's
go over
20-something
if
percent,
you just
probably.
make certain decisions, and I made certain decisions that made me go over the limit.
$20,000 of audio engineering decisions. Paying full rent when your
$20,000.
family member is obligated for the other half.
Okay, I'm pulling up the other one right now.
I like the way he said it
See?
into the camera. I mean,
Well,
said it into the
congratulations.
mic
We're
like he
under the
wasn't
credit
sitting
limit
right
on this
there.
one by $6.47.
Yes.
Oh, you got $6 available for spending. Very good.
Is owed on a credit limit of $2,700. Your last payment was lower than the minimum monthly payment by $4. You paid $50. Minimum monthly payment's $54.
Because
You're getting declined $1. $1 purchase.
You're getting declined $1.
Purchases if you don't have money. Yeah. On credit
He's
card
still
apps,
trying to
dude,
make
they
purchases
do not
on-
want to show you what you are being punished with when it comes to
What's
that's
the
zero
interest?
right, no, it's zero right now because
Ooh, that made me
Good.
hit my mic. What's the interest?
Zero interest.
when does that end?
I think
Okay,
it's
first year
early
zero
spring.
interest.
Oh crap, we're almost there. Whew. Do you have the app
Man,
Credit
if you-
Karma?
You don't work some more. The good news is you work hourly, and I'm sure working over there at Tesla, they will give you some extra hours. I'm sure of it.
Well, we have to say the number.
We don't have to. We can say the range again.
Okay.
There's usually other things on there that I look at than just the number. Are you embarrassed by the number?
I'm not embarrassed by the number because I understand how I got here, but yeah.
Let's just say it's very, very, very bad. We won't say the number. Oh, my dude. It is very bad.
And
it's because your credit card use is at 125%.
yeah.
Zero derogatory marks and derogatory marks. I always have a hard time saying that. We have 5 accounts, so let's go ahead and view these accounts. This is the main reason why on here. So we have that 5 5,000. Yeah. With the two credit cards that we already talked about, one's at 147% utilization, one's at 100%. And then we have the Sweetwater Sound. I can't believe they even approved you for something at this point. 88% credit card utilization because it wasn't even a financing plan. It was just a credit card you got to them. You got a Sinclair Bank
credit card through
Sweetwater to finance
music
$1,000 subwoofer, over
production
$1,000
company
subwoofer.
Oh no, I didn't finance on that card. I financed on my main card because that Sweetwater card wouldn't cover it.
So this is something else?
Right now, yes.
What did you buy with the Sweetwater card?
So I've been recently building up hardware collection. At first, when I started out in audio engineering, it was all mainly software, but I've been building up my hardware collection. So that particular purchase right there is a bunch of cords and a patch bay.
You have a car loan. This is not something I saw on the checking account. Good news, 69% paid off. You've always met the payments. 48-month term, not great. $300 monthly minimum payment on top of everything you have really hurts right now. Especially since that's just over 10% of your post-tax. But I love that you continue making the payments. You find a way. Well, I'll tell you how you find a way because all the credit cards are maxed out. You're spending money that you don't have in order to make your life.
Well, when it came to the car loan, I always used my debit card. I never used my credit card for it, even though
well, I know,
same old.
But if everything that you're paying for was coming out of the debit card, you would not have the money to pay for your car loan. So you're putting in the other stuff on
the credit, right?
You actually got it looks like they're estimating your rate was around 4%.
Mm-hmm, yeah, it was 3 dot maybe 4.
Okay,
yeah.
So you definitely got it at a good time, and I think your credit was probably a lot better at that time.
It was cosign. It was a cosign first.
You had a cosign on your
purchase,
car?
and then I refinanced under my name only.
What is the car?
It is a 2018 Chevrolet. I was going to say Silverado. Cruise LS.
Okay, here you go.
Chevy Cruise.
Thank you for letting me take a look at all that stuff. I have a whole lot of thoughts, and I'm ready to give you all of them. But before I do, what do you think about your financials and your financial future? What
do you think about your finances? What's going on?
Are you self-aware right now?
Back when I had thousands of dollars and zero debt, and a higher credit score, I was just happy. I'm still happy now. I'm always happy. I keep my optimism, but I was carefree because at the time I didn't ever think to make purchases and investments. But over the years, I started using credit cards. I started depleting my savings. I started having a sort of a net loss to income. And I'm at a point now.
This is a long answer to just say whether or not you're happy with your finances or not. Wrap it up.
Dollars in debt.
Yes, you're in debt.
American consumer.
To a degree.
Now, are you
to a degree
to sacrifice to turn
to
your
a broke
life
degree
around, financially speaking, and have an incredible rest of your
you
life?
You must pay people to come on here and do this kind of foolishness.
What does sacrifice mean?
Well, we can talk about that, but are you willing to sacrifice in general, as a general concept? As in, not have all the wants you have in the world, not have all the fun you want in a temporary situation in order to have an incredible multiple decades rest of your life.
Right. Sacrifice short term so you can have what you want in the future.
You're not really sacrificing.
You are not sacrificing.
So
every day.
Again, the question is, are you willing to cut back on any of your wants to have a better life? Temporarily.
Exactly.
For an amazing rest of your life.
From today moving forward, yes.
I don't define what I mean, I'm definitely cutting back on, the fast food and all that and other pleasures that I would.
You don't define what? Because your bank statement define a lot that you talking about you don't define. What don't you define? Purchase. Come out the clouds. Please. Come on down.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
And
Okay, and that's totally your
this
prerogative.
was a reality check after this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to make sure that I
Continue this foolishness.
One thing.
Make a way. What does that mean?
I'll give you a brief rundown of what I'll do, and then I'll just get your thoughts on it. Because I'd go into more detail if I thought you were going to be more willing to do it, but I don't think we're in that place at this time.
Completely
completely
unwilling.
We're not there yet. That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not okay.
Yeah.
But whatever. So what I would do, non-official financial advice, if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't eat out one time at all going forward. I just wouldn't. $3,333 a month. Let's talk about this rent. What is the rent that you are paying for now? The total thing.
The
right.
rent
You need to move.
17, 30, I want to say, and then amenities added after that 17.
So you
60.
spending more than 50% of your
and then there's
take home
utilities
monthly
too,
on rent.
Like a couple $100.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now the minimum monthly payments. So bad. Either way, sir, I need to let you know that you are spending $1,900. 3. You're spending almost 60% of your take-home money on rent and utilities. That's financial destruction. That's something you just can't escape out of. The best macro financing rule is 50-30-20, 50% on needs, 30% on wants, 20% on savings when you don't have any bad debts. You're already taking 60% on one thing of needs. So what happens in a couple months when the lease is done, though? What's your living situation?
Listen, yes. What are we gonna do? We don't care about all the rest of that other foolishness. That's your family business. Handle that at home.
North Round Rock apartment.
In 3 months when the lease ends?
Oh yeah. My bad.
You're good.
I plan to stay there, or
I don't think they'll approve
you plan to stay there,
or hopefully I'll find even better place, maybe a house. Who knows?
What?
You can afford
I'm just
no more than $1,000 a month in rent and utilities combined.
Are you dumb?
I think
It's like, where do you live and what?
Not how
are you on
personal finances work.
drugs?
It's not. That's not a matter of opinion. That is the standard across personal finance is widely accepted. 30%. You cannot afford any more than that.
I have looked over the past month after I sent you the statements. I decided to look at it too because honestly, I've not been budgeting. I've just not been looking at my ins and outs. After looking over the statements I sent you on a 2 paycheck per month basis, if I do not, stay away from just paying the bills only, I'll save $250 each month on just the rent and everything that I'm doing right now.
$250 is nothing for you. That's not going to make or break your life.
How's it nothing for me?
Are you, like, medically speaking, are you like, I'm not trying to be mean. Like, are you dumb?
Because you have $5,400 in terrible credit card debt, $2,697 in terrible credit card debt. You have car debt. You have a rent that is 60% of your life. It's going to, of your income. $250 will be great. It is not what is making the entire picture here. You're well beyond an extra $250 in your month is needed.
Yes.
So even with this, you don't have any money to play with after your rent. I would essentially, with your minimum monthly payments, you probably have like $500 left after rent, utilities, minimum monthly payments. $400 left. Really, what I would personally do were I in your shoes, I would take the temporary but quite a long time sacrifice, unfortunately, because you're just in such a bad situation financially speaking. I'd cut my groceries to $200 a month, which is very difficult. I usually do $300 at like the low end for people.
Me too.
That would be crazy hard. Then you would have $200 a month to start paying extra on these debts. And that would take a total of just your credit cards alone. And then, oh man, with the interest and everything. With the credit cards alone, that extra $200 a month on top of your minimum monthly payments will still take 40 months. 40 months, also known as just over 3 years. So, and the sad fact is, from this conversation, I can tell you're not even willing to cut back to that.
Right.
Your rent's going to continue to be obscene.
You're not willing to do anything.
In a better place. You're putting extra money on your credit cards. Whenever you get the opportunity, you spend money on your credit cards. You keep trying to, so it's just remaining at that high balance.
I mean, luckily, every dollar,
within like a year, like a year and a half. That'll be nice. That'll take an extra $300 out of your monthly bills. You're going out to eat. You're buying all these things on your debit card from Sweetwater and just all these other things. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to sound like a bad person, but I just see a life of being broke forever if this continues. Right. Just absolutely broke. And
if you don't change something, you can definitely change something.
For a lease, because everything's just so right with the max out credit cards, where you're not going to be able to pay a bill that's required. And I think bankruptcy will be in your future, because there will be no other choice. And they will be hounding you, legally speaking, for different things. You'll be in collections for multiple things because you can't pay for it.
Collections, garnishments, and all kinds of stuff.
Full red flag disaster in the future, unfortunately.
I'm going to make sure that 2023
to what?
Is going to be not just a 180, but almost like a different world for my life. I'm going to make sure.
We all in the clouds. Bring it down. What does that mean actionably?
That I get absolutely.
What is the different world about to be? I see
needs and wants differently. I don't let people.
But what does that mean? What are you going to do? Somebody going to tell you. You don't want to let people tell you. The bank going to tell you. The place that want to that you want to buy lease an apartment from going to tell you. That was the end of it. Okay, there needs to be there's something else going on over there, and it's not just money. Something else is going on. Because talking to that young man, listening to the conversation, he is not here with us. He is someplace else. All I'm trying to do is acknowledge the fact that something is off, like heavily. Something is off. He talks like he's off in the clouds somewhere, like he don't have to deal and exist with the real world or whatever. I'm starting to think his brother is trying to get away from him, because it sounds like his brother is making some better decisions, or is trying to make better decisions with his life. And so, because what did come out and I guess it was good that the young man corrected this, is that his brother is not some sort of deadbeat that's just leaving him high and dry. His brother has just kind of separated from the young man to, for one, I guess he wants to save money or whatever, and to sounds like he wants to find ways to be more responsible moving forward. And he kind of came across as being the irresponsible one in this, because probably the largest debt or expense, I should say, that this gentleman is having probably is his housing, right? Like the largest just cut of everything over the top that the young man is seemingly unwilling to adjust, right? He's like, when asked about, first of all, if you are, for the first month, I guess this hasn't hit him yet, because he's just like he said, he just started paying for the first month, the full rent himself, right? And so he got a little over $100 in his checking account and maxed out credit cards to the red cent. I mean, this young man has just not have the willingness to make the proper adjustments. At the end, he was trying to kind of convince himself that he just knew he was going to make some moves and changes to do what he needs to do for him, because nobody can tell him what he needs to do. Let me just tell you one thing. That sound good. That sound good until you looking for some place to rent, because the landlord, they're going to tell you, what you need to do to live in their home that you can't afford to live in. They're going to tell you what you need to do. You need to either have a financial profile that looks like this or hit the door. Thank you very much. The credit card company is going to tell you what you need to do. Hey, we canceling that card because you keep overdrafting above and beyond what the limit is, and so we canceling that card and you need to pay it up. You need to still pay on this card you can no longer use. Who else gonna tell you what to do? There's a lot of people when you don't. That's the thing about financial freedom. There's a reason why people like that term and you hear it a lot. It's because there's a level of it, a level of freedom that comes with getting your finances together, right? And when you don't have your finance together, it's something other than freedom that take place. Okay, it's gonna be a whole lot of people telling you what to do and keeping you in a position that you don't necessarily want to be in. So from what I heard, I feel like it's just as Caleb said. Your aha moment or you're hitting the wall or your wake up call, whatever that moment is, you haven't had it yet. That's all that is. You just have not had that moment yet. Because, see, the young man was in a position before where he had decent enough credit to get his car. Well, that might be a lie. He got a co-signer on his car, so somebody who's trying to help him get himself together, because people ain't doing that these days. It might have been that brother. Somebody helped him with that situation, right? I think trying to get him to a particular place. They're not going to just keep doing that. And so somebody helped you get a car that you could not get on your own, because that's what it means for me when you get a cosigner. You could not get this on your own. You needed some help. So somebody helped you do that. And then what you do is then you turn around and then you create a life for yourself that you cannot sustain to where you are prepared for a crash and burn. But he's going to have that moment where he wakes up and says, okay, this is not sustainable. People are not going to keep bailing me out. People are not going to keep co-signing stuff for me. People are not going to keep, prolonging or sustaining my unsustainable life that I'm curating for myself, right? And so he's going to have to make a change, and hopefully it happens in a situation that's not so harmful to him. I can't tell. Sometimes I kind of feel like it could be because of like the artistry type of thing where he's just kind of really, in a different creative space. But in some instances, he seemed like he's not all there, which is a possibility, but just something about him, it's off. So I don't know. Like I said, it could be the artistry type of thing, but at some point, you can't be so artistic and creative that you can't figure out that you need to pay this bill on this day. And you need to live a life to where you can sustain that life. You ain't that much art in the world. Right. So hopefully he gets that together. And the other thing is, he said he works, hourly in the auto manufacturing. So hopefully, things are not that great right now for auto, but hopefully he can get the extra hours. A lot, if you're hourly or whatever and working in those situations, if you're willing to work extra hours and things like that, a lot of times you can pick up a lot of extra hours. From what I know from auto, some of the people working in factories make more than some of the administrative corporate folks, because corporate folks, you get a salary. You can't just tack on extra hours when you want to. It's some people working in those factories, when they working, they make more than corporate. But anyway, I just say that to say, like, there's things he can do now, but it has to be the extra time and hours to cut against the damage he's done, not to sustain an unsustainable life for as long as you can, right? And so hopefully he can see what he needs to see. I'm not sure why he came on this show for this gentleman Caleb. I don't know if he's paying these people or whatever to come on here and with this foolishness. But it's good. It's good for the viewer to kind of, see different things and learn from it. But I'm not sure what he going through this situation is getting out of this. Because he's just like, nobody can tell me anything. So anyway, folks, whatever your situation is, don't do this, right? Don't be so far in the clouds where you cannot see the objective fact of the trend and the trajectory of where you're heading. It's not an opinion that you are in financial ruins if you cannot pay your basic bills, right? Without going into a further debt, right? That's not an opinion. That's just facts, right? And so treating everything like an opinion because it may be too difficult and too much of a hard truth for you is not going to help you in the future. All right, that's it. I'm done. I thought that was hilarious. Hopefully the gentleman, the not so fun side of it, hopefully the gentleman gets that wake up call that he needs. He participated in this experience. Hopefully he can watch it back and really see himself. Sometimes it's a little different when you can see yourself, watch yourself back, and then be able to revisit that later when something happens where he really says, I can't keep doing this. All right. Now y'all have a wonderful evening. I got to go. Peace.
I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles. Said I'm in my element, it's evident that there's levels to the game. All of those dark nights I got then, breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like pain. I ain't never need your help, I know you wishing me well. A penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. I snap for the sun like Diddy. The riches got a mad ass son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up, whole team with me. But known for my city like OAGZ.